Michael Grant CBE was an English classicist, numismatist, and author of numerous popular books on ancient history. His 1956 translation of Tacitus's Annals of Imperial Rome remains a standard of the work. Having studied and held a number of academic posts in the United Kingdom and the Middle East, he retired early to devote himself fully to writing. He once described himself as one of the very few freelancers in the field of ancient history, a rare phenomenon. As a popularizer, his hallmarks were his prolific output and his unwillingness to oversimplify or talk down to his readership. He published over 70 works. Biography. Grant was born in London, the son of Carl Morris Grant, who served in the Boer War and later wrote part of its official history. Young Grant attended Harrow and Reed Classics at Trinity College, Cambridge. His speciality was academic numismatics. His research fellowship thesis later became his first published book, From Imperium to Auctoritas, on Roman bronze coins. Over the next decade he wrote 4 books on Roman coinage. His view was that the tension between the eccentricity of the Roman emperors and the traditionalism of the Roman mint made coins a unique social record. During World War II, Grant served for a year as an intelligence officer in London, after which he was assigned as the UK's first British Council representative in Turkey. In this capacity he was instrumental in getting his friend, the eminent historian Stephen Runciman, his position at Ankara University. While in Turkey, he also married Anne-Sophie Biscoff. At war's end, the couple returned to the UK with Grant's collection of almost 700 Roman coins. After a brief return to Cambridge, Grant applied for the vacant chair of humanity at Edinburgh University, which he held from 1948 until 1959. During a 2-year leave of absence, he also served as Vice-Chancellor of the University of Khartoum. Upon his departure, he turned the university over to the newly independent Sudanese government. He was then Vice-Chancellor of Queen's University of Belfast, after which he pursued a career as a full-time writer. According to his obituary in The Times, he was one of the few classical historians to win respect from both academics and a lay readership. Immensely prolific, he wrote and edited more than 70 books of non-fiction and translation, covering topics from Roman coinage and the eruption of Mount Vesuvius to the Gospels. He produced general surveys of ancient Greek, Roman, and Israelite history, as well as biographies of giants such as Julius Caesar, Herod the Great, Cleopatra, Nero, Jesus, Saint Peter and Saint Paul. As early as the 1950s, Grant's publishing success was somewhat controversial within the classicist community. According to The Times, Grant's approach to classical history was beginning to divide critics. Numismatists felt that his academic work was beyond reproach, but some academics balked at his attempt to condense a survey of Roman literature into 300 pages, and felt that even the most learned and gifted of historians should observe a speed limit. The academics would keep cavilling, but the public kept buying. From 1966 until his death, Grant lived with his wife in Gattaiola, a village near Lucca, in Tuscany. His autobiography, My First 80 Years, appeared in 1994. Degrees, honors and accolades. Lit. D. Hon. Lit. D. Hon. Ul. D. Honorary Fellow, Royal Numismatic Society. Medalist, Royal Numismatic Society. President, Royal Numismatic Society. Archer M. Huntington Medalist, American Numismatic Society. OBE. CBE. Bibliography. Original works From Imperium to Auctoritas. Aspects of the Principate of Tiberius. Historical comments on the colonial coinage issued outside Spain, New York. American Numismatic Society. Roman anniversary issues. An exploratory study of the numismatic and medallic commemoration of anniversary years, 49 BC AD, 375, Cambridge University Press. Ancient History. The 6 main AE's coinages of Augustus, Edinburgh, University Press. Roman Imperial Money, Thomas Nelson and Sons, Limited. Roman History from Coins. The World of Rome. The Ancient Mediterranean. Myths of the Greeks and Romans. ISBN 0-452-01162-0. Greece and Rome. The Birth of Western Civilization. The Civilizations of Europe. The Gladiators. The Climax of Rome. The Final Achievements of the Ancient World. AD 161 to 337. Julius Caesar. The Ancient Historians. The Roman Forum. Nero. Herod the Great. Roman Myths. Cities of Vesuvius. Pompeii and Herculaneum. Atlas of Classical History, aka Ancient History Atlas. Cleopatra, Weidenfeld and Nicholson. The Jews in the Roman World. Gods and Mortals in Classical Mythology, with John Hazel, and C. Merriam-Co. Who's Who in Classical Mythology, with John Hazel. Caesar. Introduction by Elizabeth Longford. Army of the Caesars. Cities of Vesuvius. Pompeii and Herculaneum. The 12 Caesars. Erotic Art in Pompeii. The Secret Collection of the National Museum of Naples, London. Octopus Books Limited. Photos by Antonia Muellers. Collection descriptions by Antonio de Simone and Maria Teresa Morella. The Fall of the Roman Empire. ISBN 0-02-028560-4. Paul, Jesus. An Historian's Review of the Gospels. History of Rome. ISBN 0-02-345610-8. ISBN 978-0-571-11461-0. Greece and Italy in the Classical World. The Art and Life of Pompeii and Herculaneum. The Etruscans. Greek and Latin authors. 800 BC, AD 1000. Dawn of the Middle Ages. Coffee Table Book. From Alexander to Cleopatra. The Hellenistic World, aka the Hellenistic Greeks. The History of Ancient Israel. The Roman Emperors. A biographical guide to the rulers of Imperial Rome. 31 BC, AD 476. Gods and Mortals in Classical Mythology. A Dictionary, with John Hazel, Dorset Press. A Guide to the Ancient World. A Dictionary of Classical Place Names. The Rise of the Greeks. The Classical Greeks. The Visible Past. Greek and Roman History from Archaeology, 1960 to 1990, aka The Visible Past. An archaeological reinterpretation of ancient history. Founders of the Western World. A History of Greece and Rome, aka A Short History of Classical Civilization. Greeks and Romans. A Social History, aka A Social History of Greece and Rome. The Emperor Constantine, aka Constantine the Great. The Man and His Times. The Antonines. The Roman Empire in Transition. St. Peter. A Biography. My First 80 Years, Autobiography. The Sayings of the Bible, Duckworth Sayings Series. Greek and Roman Historians. Information and Misinformation. Art in the Roman Empire. The Severans. The Changed Roman Empire. From Rome to Byzantium. The 5th century. Collapse and Recovery of the Roman Empire. 6 Caesars. Translations. Tacitus. The Annals of Imperial Rome. Cicero. Selected Works. Cicero. Selected Political Speeches. Cicero. Cicero on the Good Life. Cicero. Murder Trials. Cicero. On Government. Editor, Reviser Roman Literature, Cambridge University Press. Roman Readings, aka Latin Literature. An Anthology. Greek Literature in Translation, aka Greek Literature. An Anthology. Translations from Greek prose and poetry. Suetonius, The 12th Caesars. An illustrated edition. Civilization of the Ancient Mediterranean. Apuleius, The Golden Ass. Readings in the Classical Historians. Contributor, Translating Latin Prose, Ariel. A Review of International English Literature, Volume 2, No. 2, April 1971. The Translator's Art. Essays in Honor of Betty Radacy, Harmansworth. Penguin, pp. 81-91. Forward, in Reprint of Liddell Hart, B.H. Scipio Africanus, Greater Than Napoleon, New York. Da Capo Press, pp. Vichy. Entry, Julius Caesar, Review of the 1953 Film, in Cairns, Mark C., ed. Past Imperfect. History According to the Movies, New York. Henry Holt and Company, pp. 44-47.